Hey everybody! Today we're gonna set up a Winona 6 tent, and we're gonna do it in a windstorm, and one of two things is gonna happen. Either I'm gonna go for a ride on the back of the tent, or we're gonna nail the thing down to the ground. I'm Escondido, let's get into it. So we're over 10 miles an hour, 13, 15, something like that. Good. Now here's the X. This is middle. Keep it going. And this is you right here. Boom. So when I am orientating the tent, I'm looking for two areas. One area is the three small loops that are located on top of the storage area with my guy lines already in place. This goes on the windward side. The next area is the wide gray strap location. This ends up on the floor of the vestibule and is located on the downward side. Yeah, this goes here. The idea is to prepare as much as you can before you raise the tent. This diagram shows how many boot links are for each stake location to hammer in. Okay, we got extra nails back here because the dirt is porous. 2, 4, yeah. So now I'm going to unravel the guy lines. They're already kind of in position. On the windward side, we got the vestibule on the downward side. So these two guy lines here, these are for the upper clips. I just keep them here because I know where they go once I find them. Everyone's got their own way of doing it. Mine, I just want to keep the guy lines roughly in the area that I'm going to use them. This one is the bottom, and then these two are the higher guy lines. Same here. Okay, now we're going to go over to the bungees. The bungees is kind of what gives one person an extra arm in assembling a tent when the wind's blowing. Okay, so now we go over to the bungees. My setup for the three center ones is a small one and a medium-sized one. I link it together, 3 of them. And then the corners, I've got the green one. And all of this is temporary. This is just buys us some time before we get the guy line stitched. This I'm unlocking this one off of the nail so it goes over into the bungees. We'll bring that back into position later. I place the black tube inside the gold tubes, not outside the gold tubes. I'm going to make these things a little bit longer. What I really want is I want the tent to move down a little bit. This is where it's going to end up, in the corner. Okay. Now it helps to know where the clips belong on the tubes. So I set up the tent prior with no wind blowing and mark the locations of the top clips. So if I slide one clip down, I need to move the clip on the opposite side up on the tube. Okay, lower guy lines are in, corners are done. Now we're going to make it vertical with the end guy lines. Okay, now we could throw the middle one in, I guess. Third on here. More or less. So my adventures, basically the plant's in the way here for the entrance, so I'm not going to continue assembling the tent back over there. But for demonstration purposes, you get the idea. Bungee cords to use as shock absorbers and gives you some time to get everything secured. And I mean, for me, I do the guy lines on the corners and leave them there in the hoops so you could find them. Looks like I need a guy line a little bit longer here. No problem, I'll do that when I get back to the shop. But this is the idea. And then over here, on the windward side, this all gets filled with dirt. I just put dirt on that flap, keep the wind from going underneath, and it anchors it pretty good. This type of stuff where it's kind of the wind getting underneath there, I use water cubes. On my other video you can see those. I just put the water cubes in the corner and on the sides to keep the fabric from getting wind underneath it and lifting it up. And it keeps it planted pretty good. Well, folks, that's about all I'm going to do for today. At least you can see the principle. It works. I'm Escondido, and thank you for watching. Well, my adventurers, we got the tent up, and now it's time to rest. Relax with subscribing and enjoying the ride together with me, Escondido.